All right, hello Kyle and Sarah. This is 1-6. This is the last section in the chapter, folks, okay? I made them a deal and I said, here's the deal, okay? This is the homework assignment for this section. And 1-6 mathematical modeling, we will get through these notes today. They are not very long. There's not very, like, it looks like there's a lot of examples, but they're really not that bad. We will get through these notes, except there is another sheet of paper that I will give you that tells you information about mathematical modeling that I'm going to give you tomorrow. So this homework assignment is not due until Monday. Okay, but I want to get this stuff done today because Fridays afternoons are always kind of crazy and I want to make sure we don't have a ton to do. So here we go.
Yes, ma'am.
Mathematical modeling. There are 4 types of mathematical modeling that we're going to discuss. The first one is direct variation. The second one is inverse variation. The third one is combined variation, and the fourth one is joint variation. Okay, so 4 different types. Direct variation is the first one. Direct variation means 2 functions are directly related to each other, as in like a linear model. Okay, linear model, direct variation. So if they say that y varies directly as x, that means we have y equals kx. Now, k is what's called the constant of variation, S-T-A-N-T, constant of variation. So like k would be like 4, or k would be like 1/2, okay? So it has to have a number and it tells me how y is related to x. Like,
Bless you.
y is double what x is, so k would be 2.
Bless you.
Now, if they use the wording instead of y is directly proportionate to x, that means the same thing. Or y equals kx for some non-zero constant k. All of those mean directly proportionate or direct variation. Okay? So example, in Pennsylvania, the state income tax is directly proportional to the gross income. So I'm going to write down your tax is equal to some value times your income, right? It's directly relationship.
Ooh.
Tax and income are directly related, with some constant in between them. Now, this constant is going to be what?
15.
What is that constant going to stand for according to this problem?
Monthly income.
No. Income goes here.
4.
That's going to be the tax rate. K is going to be the tax rate. I take the tax rate, or the R, times the income, and that tells me how much money I pay in taxes, right? So here's the deal. We know that this is the equation that it looks like. It says you are working in Pennsylvania, and your state income tax deduction is $46.05. Where does that go?
K.
No.
Income tax.
That is T, 4605.
Minus.
4605 is T. That's going to go there.
Wait.
Okay? For a monthly income of $1,500. I don't know what the tax rate is, but I'm going to use this information to find it, right?
Ow.
1,500 yields me $46.05 in taxes, so I need to know the tax rate.
Divide.
So divide by 1,500. What is 4605 divided by 1,500? What's my tax rate?
Bad number.
Whatever that is, 0.0307.
Hashtag growth.
Okay?
That's a lot of tax.
So it's 3.7%, or 3.1% basically. That's not that bad.
Why aren't you voting?
We had this talk about.
I'm not on varsity.
Anywho, okay? All right, the last thing it says, we've calculated what K is. You
I'm
gotta
not
listen.
on varsity.
There's varsity across
Listen,
the
listen.
street.
Yeah.
What?
Good for you.
Only top, I know, right? Only top
Yes.
5 go.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Directly proportionate or varies directly.
There's 5 boys.
Luke, you don't have to run in this with today.
Like they
James,
say, the tax
Kyle.
deduction.
James.
So tax is 46.
Remington.
James.
Gross income is 1,500.
Didn't
Is
hear that.
John
You
on?
plug those
No
in.
way.
Yeah.
What?
That's crazy.
Is Johnny on there?
Johnny,
Like a constant.
Remington, Daniel,
No.
James, and Kyle. I said Daniel twice.
Or is anybody gonna make?
All right, last thing.
No.
You gotta listen. We figured out what K is. The last thing it says is
Actually,
find
we
a
didn't do it.
shush.
Mathematical
Find a mathematical model that gives the Pennsylvania state income tax in terms of gross income. So
So
our
find
tax
I.
is equal to, our tax is equal to 0.0307 times income. This is my equation.
That's your mathematical
They want
model?
us to make a mathematical model. I have found the tax rate. I'm going to plug that in for K. That's it. I use the information given me to find the value of K, and there it
Oh my
is.
gosh, Mrs. Coacher,
What?
my dad's gonna kill my mom this time next week.
It's so uncomfortable.
Your dad
She's
sounds so
leaving for a week.
Okay.
What did you
All right,
say?
there you go. Moving
Last
on.
time my dad went on a
Next.
fishing trip, my mom killed my dad. Do you know?
Next. All right, here we go. You gotta listen.
And now it's my dad's turn.
Now, this is direct variation. You guys have got to listen. I am recording this. Be
Yeah.
quiet.
That's
Hush.
sad. Murder's never happened.
Shush.
No.
Shush.
No.
Direct
we're
variation
learning.
to the nth power. This is 1a. Like, this is still direct variation, but it's 1a. Okay? Now, this says y varies directly as some power of x. So we still have like y equals kx, but the power on x might be like x squared or x cubed, right? It might be a higher power of x rather than just y equals kx. So in this case, it's not linear, it's some sort of polynomial. So quadratic, cubic, something like that, right? Also, y is directly proportionate to the nth power of x, or, you know, this is what he looks like, x to some power, all right? The distance the ball rolls down an inclined plane, the distance, underline the word distance, is directly proportionate to the square of the time. Okay, so let's write our equation. The distance, let's call that
D.
d, equals, is directly proportionate, we have to have a k in there, to the square of the time,
T squared.
t squared. That's what our like skeleton of our equation looks like. D equals kt squared. Yeah? It says during the first second the ball rolls 8 feet. That's going to help me find what k is. During the first second the ball rolls 8 feet. So if I plug 1 in for t and 8 in for d, I've got k equals 8. K is 8. Yep. Okay? So A says find a mathematical model that relates the distance, time, or distance traveled to the time. The
D
distance is equal to
1t squared.
what?
That's
KT squared.
KT
Oh, eight.
squared.
Yeah, yeah.
8t squared. We've solved for t and we found that our constant that's always staying the same number is 8. 8t squared. Now they're saying use that formula to find the distance the ball will roll in 3 seconds. So 8 times 3 squared is
72.
72
Distances.
feet. 72 feet. Okay? You have to find your constants
Is
and
this what you
make a
said
model.
you like doing? Is this what you
I
said?
don't like this. No.
Oh.
Yeah, this is.
This
I don't
isn't
like
so
this.
bad.
It's not bad, but it's not my favorite.
Boring and
Okay.
lame.
Are we almost done?
Moving on,
yet?
next.
We only have the back.
Yep,
pages.
moving on next. Inverse variation, I don't have an example for that because we're going to do an example on the back that involves inverse variation, but y varies inversely as x. If they say inverse, or they also call this, write this down, they call it indirect variation. So we have direct and indirect, okay? Indirect and inverse mean the same thing. If they say y varies inversely, we have y equals k over x rather than y equals k times x. Inverse, y equals kx. There you go. Write that down. Otherwise, it's inversely proportionate or k over x for some non-zero constant k.
Did we do this in
This is,
algebra?
yes, we did. This is inverse or indirect variation, k over x, all right? That's inverse, so write this guy down right here.
feet stink.
This main thing. Make sure you have
Your
him written
feet
down.
smell really
Shush.
bad.
Shush. Write that down. Write that down. That
Feet
that's
smell
formula.
Like bad.
We don't care. I'm all the way over here.
Wait. On direct
Yeah,
variation to
with
the nth
nasty
power, it's
Dogs
y
on
is
the
equal to
table.
k x to
Oh, I
the
can't
n.
put my
Yeah,
hand back
whatever
on
the
there.
n is, they'll tell you what the power. Okay.
Okay.
All right, next thing, combined variation. Listen to this.
I have like a place that I put my shoes, but it don't work.
Combined variation is a combination of direct and inverse, or direct and indirect at the same time.
Can't spell
Most
that
people
bad.
have B. Yo.
No, I smell bad.
No, they smell bad.
Okay.
Like most people, it smells like BL, but on his feet.
Okay, great. Direct and indirect variation is combined.
At least you don't smell like BL. It's just your feet.
So write this at the top of your paper. Y varies
It's probably like a football.
directly
Actually, yeah, for fun this year.
as
He's
x.
touching his feet.
Write this at the top of your paper.
Yes. Nah.
Y varies directly as x and inversely as
Y varies directly as X and inversely as
z. Okay, here's what this looks like.
Directly as X
Y equals.
and
This is direct and inverse at the same time. So the direct
as
one is x.
Z.
That means x goes in the numerator and z goes in the denominator. But I have to have a k somewhere. K goes
Front.
In front of all of it.
in front of all of it, or I'm going to lump it on the top with the x, right? So inverse with x, or excuse me, direct with x, inverse with the z. Z goes in the bottom. The inverse one goes in the bottom, the direct one goes in the top. This is a combined variation, okay? So a gas law states that the volume of an enclosed gas, we're going to equals varies directly as the temperature, so temperature goes on the top, and inversely as the pressure, and K goes right here. All right? The pressure of a gas in 0.75 kilograms per square centimeter. What is 0.75 kilograms per square centimeter? Because that's not pressure.
That's volume.
That's volume. 0.75 is the volume, and it says the pressure of a gas when the temperature is 294 and the, oh wait a second. Oh wait a second, nope, volume, that's not wrong, that's wrong. That is pressure. Pressure, yeah, that was right. This should say is, the pressure is 0.75, so that's pressure, sorry. Temperature is 294. We don't know K, but we do know 8,000 is the volume. And we have to find K. Right? So times 0.75 times 0.75. What is 75% or 3/4 of 8,000?
What are we doing?
6,000.
6,000 equals 294K.
20.41.
And K, if you divide, is 20.41.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, all right, so my mathematical model is V equals 20.41 times T over P. This is my mathematical model. I've plugged my K back in. Now it's going to ask me, oh, that was part A, find a mathematical model that relates pressure, temperature, and volume. When they ask for that, you have to solve for K and then just write out your equation with K plugged in, okay? B, find the pressure when the temperature is 300 and the volume is 700, okay? Find the pressure. So I have 700 here, or excuse me, 7,000. 20.41 T, what was temperature again? 300, and we're trying to solve for pressure. How do I solve for P?
Just swap them. The
Okay,
7,000
yep,
go
I
back.
can switch these two, kind of like we do normally, right? P equals whatever that is, 20.41 times 300 divided by 7,000.
0.875.
0.875.
Yep.
And what are the units for pressure? Look at the units that it was up above.
Centimeters.
Kilograms per square centimeter. So it's kg per cm squared. That's pressure. Now, I always kind of compare that to the original pressure, like 0.875, that was pretty close to 0.75 kilograms per square, like the pressure before. If I would end up getting a number that's like way super units off, right? Like I know that my pressure should be a number, like a decimal number that's around or a little bit less than 1, correct? If I would get a pressure that's like 300, that's probably not right, correct? Like compare this number to the original pressure and it should be about the same units, yeah? Okay, so there's that. There's my pressure, okay? Good? And the last one is joint variation. I didn't leave a lot of room, but it says Z varies jointly as X and Y. Joint variation is when you have 3 variables. Three variables. So Z varies jointly. That means Z equals. And joint variation is just like having 2 direct variations. So I have my constant, but now I have X and Y that are sharing the joint custody, and they make up what Z is. Okay? X, Y. So it's like a direct variation, but 2 of them.
So
Okay?
you should do your signature.
All right. The simple interest for a savings account, I'm going to write down here. Simple interest, I equals, is jointly proportionate to the time and the principal. So I have to have a K, but then I have time times principal. What is a principal again? Like the original starting amount. Okay. After 1 quarter, which is 3 months, the interest on a principal is of 5,000 is 43.75. Okay. 43.75. Okay, now, here's the deal. Time. We're going to talk about time really quick. 5,000 is P. Now, here's the deal. Are you ready? Are you listening? Okay. It does not matter whether or not you plug in, like it says 1 quarter. Some people might try to plug in 0.25 because that's a quarter of a year, right? So in terms of years, it would be 0.25 years, right? But in terms of months, it would be 3 months. It does not matter which one you use. Your K will be different depending on which one you use.
In terms of
But-
money, we have
but-
no money.
But when it says for part B, find the interest after 3/4. Whatever units you use up here, you have to use the same units when you're evaluating 3/4 instead. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So you can either use 3 and 9 or 0.25 and 0.75. It does not matter. Okay, which one would you like to use? 3 and 9? 3? Okay, so let's do 3 first because we've got to solve for K yet, right? And I know that 3 times 5,000 is 15,000, yeah? So let's divide by 15,000. My K is going to be really small. 0.0029. Yeah? Okay, so my mathematical model for part A, find a mathematical model, I equals 0.0029 TP. Right? That's my mathematical model. This is part A. They're just asking for the model now that you found K. Plug stuff in for B. Find the interest after 3/4. Interest is what I'm solving for. 3/4, since we did it in months, we can go ahead and put 9 months in there. What's P? Still the same, 5,000, yeah. And I type that all in and I get an answer. What is the interest amount that
What
I'm
did I
getting?
do?
We know it's going to be more than $43, right?
30.5. 130.5.
130 point. I was going to say 130.50. So $130.50 is my interest after 3/4 or 9 months. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, that is what this section is about. Tomorrow we're going to do some like way different mathematical modeling. Okay, so there's that. You have those 4 equations. This assignment, you can start on it, but it's not due till Monday. But you know how to do all of it except for like number 12, I think. 12 is going to refer to like what we did yesterday.
We can't do 12.
Okay, yep. Save 12 for after we get done with tomorrow's stuff. Okay? Good?
Good.
Beautiful. Goodbye.
Bye bye.